I competed against him for many years, the world indoor champion 95 and 93, Bruny Surin. How have things been with you?
Very good. Thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad.
All right.
So tell me, we're at the World Indoor Championships. You were world indoor champion in 93 and 95. What do you see as the difference between the competitors then and the ones now?
I think now the guys, they are more friendly. I mean, in our time, there was more intimidation, there was like talk and stuff. Yeah. But now there's way less intimidation. The guys are together. And that's why I found out like a couple of years ago, and I saw that again here. That's what I think is a big difference. Yeah. But it's still fun to watch the World Indoor Championship.
Anybody who was paying attention to the men's 4x1 coming into the Atlanta Games would have known that you guys, Canada, were one of the favorites, and yet it seemed to be quite a shock that you guys were able to beat the United States and win the gold. Why do you think that was?
It was a weird situation because the year before the Olympic, the Canadians, we won the World Championship. And a lot of people were saying we won because the U.S. team dropped the baton in the semifinal, I believe. And the year after that, even the U.S. team was like, okay, well, we're going to kick your ass. We're going to be in Atlanta and our turf. And we were like, all right. And again, even we were one of the favorite to win, gold or silver, not one time we were mentioned. It's like we didn't exist. And for us, it was more motivation for us. And the team spirit also we had at that time, it was like unbreakable. All the guys were together. We believe in ourselves. We believe in the team, and that's what made the great difference. And I remember when we crossed the finish line, we went to do with the Canadian flag and everything, and it looked like everybody on the crowd were looking at us like, what happened? What happened? We were like, okay, yeah, having fun, and people were like, they didn't understand it. It was like a bad ending in a movie, and we saw some Canadian flag there. It was fun, and even today, sometimes when I see my U.S. friend, I tease them about that.
You were born in Haiti before you moved to Canada. I want you to tell me where you were when you found out about the devastating earthquake that hit the country in which you were born.
It was a sad moment. I remember when that happened, I was coming from Ottawa. I had a conference. Normally, like 95%, I always put a CD when I'm driving. For that time, I don't know why, I just put the radio. And all I was hearing was like a Haiti earthquake, and it was getting here, and I'm like, no, it's not possible. So I turned the channel and everything, not like this, but like this. And everything was about 80. And suddenly, my phone kept ringing and ringing and ringing. And at some point, I saw my dad was calling me. I was so scared. I was driving. I didn't pick up the phone because I'm like, something happened with my family there. It's a disaster. I didn't answer. So once I get home, turn on the TV, and I saw the news. I called my dad, and he was saying that he has no news from his family for days. And right after that, I called my business friend and everything. I tried to raise some money to send over there, but it's very bad. It's very bad. For a long time, I tried to go back and try to do something about the sport and everything, but it's difficult because half of my friends, they're telling me, well, don't go. And half of them saying that, yes, you can go, but be careful. And I'm like, why are you telling me go, but be careful, So it's a sad situation because I'd love to go to my country like with no worries and everything, but there's always something on the back of my mind saying that maybe something's going to happen. But today I'm still like 50-50, scared a little bit.
Bruny, you have two daughters just like me, one of whom is doing very, very well in tennis. Tell me, how did track and field lose Bruny Surin's daughter to tennis?
The funny thing is, I love the sport. I love athletics. And I also know how tough it is, also, like if you want to make your living out of it. And when I compare, I used to watch tennis even before I have my daughters. I mean, let's make a comparison. I mean, in tennis, you can be, let's say, professional, top 50, you make a good living.
Yes.
In athletics, you top 50, you stay home. You know, so I was like, okay, I encouraged my daughter to do tennis. When they were young, they were doing all the sport, but I always have in my mind, yeah, hopefully you're gonna go to tennis. So my oldest daughter, she's like at 8 years old, she was all tennis. I was like, yes, you know. But my little one, since she was 5 years old, she was telling me, Dad, put me in a school that where I can learn how to run fast. I'm like, you're too young, you know, play soccer, go play tennis and everything. And I said, at 14 years old, come we talk. So she was playing tennis. She was in the provincial team. She was in the national team. At 14 years old, Dad, I want to stop. I want to do track. I was like, all right. And the funny thing is, she started crying when she told me that. And I said, why are you crying? Because she said that she thought that she was going to disappoint me. I said, no, you're not disappointing me. I mean, it's your life, it's your career. I'm your dad. I'm always going to support you, whatever you want to do. And that's what she's doing now. So it's great to see that.
Like the rest of the world, I'm sure you've been mesmerized by what Usain Bolt of Jamaica has been able to do on the track in the last 6 years. But tell me, did you always feel like the types of times that he has been running would be ever possible?
Yeah, I was one of the few people back then who were saying that Usain Bolt could do those times. Because I remember the first time I saw him in 2003 at the World Youth Championship. And I saw him running the 200, and he was still growing, you know, running like very awkward and everything. And after I talked to him briefly for 2 minutes for the interview, and right away I said to the other reporter, I said, remember that name, Usain Bolt? I believe in a couple of years, the world record would be a joke for him. And everybody was saying that, okay, yeah, whatever, I'm crazy, whatever. And that's what he's doing now. And also what I learned about the biomechanic also and the sprinting, I was like 31 years old, believe it or not. And when I retired, and I said that the new generation with that technique, biomechanic running properly, it's gonna be a joke. And that's what happened. That's what happened today.
Well, thanks for joining me on the show. Wish you all the best with your daughters, with your daughters' careers as well as your own.
All right, thank you very much.